I got home, but I never actually arrived. This is episode 8 of the Toxic 10. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about stress. Yes, stress. And for me, stress didn't just start when the assignment began. For me, it started long before I got there, long before I did anything. I would wake up already thinking about it. I would be checking the booking again. I'll be checking the postcode, the location, the address, the train, if I was going to use the train, the bus. When I used to drive, I'll be checking the parking route. If they have parking, like all those things, I'll be checking and checking that I've packed everything that I need for the assignment. It's like, and then after I've checked all of it, I'll go and do it again. I'll go and check again. Just in case, just in case. And then I'll arrive at the place. If I drove, I'll just be sitting down there and I'll be like, just thinking. Instead of like going on and doing a thing, I'll just be there. Okay. And I take a breath. Since I was just taking a breath in my mind, I'd be running. Okay, what about if the client doesn't like the style? What about if they don't understand, they won't get what I'm saying? What about if it's a very complex job? What about if, it's complex than they said it was going to be, or it's something else that God knows what, right? All these things are just like what is happening or going through me. Or what about if there's another interpreter there that is much, like advanced experience, or knows the lexicon, knows everything about this than me. And then by the time now, eventually, and I walk through the door, my body has already done half of a day's work already, just by going through. And then the assignment begins. Just before it even begins, all these things has happened. And this is the thing, most of the time, it actually goes fine. Everything goes fine. There is no real problem. There is no issue. Nothing like crazy happened. It was just an average assignment like any other that I have done. However, my body didn't see it to have noticed all of that. Instead, because here's the thing, as soon as the job's done and I've finished, like another shift starts. The one I did before I went in, and while I was in, now on the way home, we take another one going now. We're replaying assignments. We're replaying conversation. We're replaying my choice of science. We're replaying or trying to remember whether I missed something or how the whole sequence happened, what happened here. And then now getting home, I'm there, but I've not really arrived. So I might be like making dinner or like doing stuff. I'm just sitting down now with dinner while still interpreting in my head like what had gone on. Someone would ask me a question, like one of my kids, husband, whatever, I would ask a question out and I said, "Oh, sorry, what did you say? Like what?" Like, like, "Mom." It's not because I wasn't listening. It's because part of me was still back in that room. Right? And then finally I go to bed, right? Tired. Like absolutely exhausted with everything. But somehow I'm still alert. My body is still as if it was just waiting for something else to happen, right? It's still in that motion. But looking back, I've realized that I wasn't just doing interpreting. I was carrying the assignment before it even started. I was carrying it while I was there doing the job, and carried it long after everyone had gone home, gone to their various things. I was still carrying it. No wonder I was exhausted. I was carrying it on and on, and a day after, like carried on. And it wasn't that the job was breaking me. No, it was the fact that my nervous system never knew when the work had actually finished. The assignment had ended, said our goodbyes, but my body never got the memo. It didn't get that information that, okay, we're done. So, as far as my nervous system was concerned, the assignment was still happening. I was still doing it hours later, sometimes like days on end. So it's like it was over the weekend, like it's still going on. And I really want to be clear about something here. And it is that it isn't the workload. I'm not talking about workload here. This is not, no, because I really want you to hear that, because you can reduce the amount of booking you do. You can take fewer jobs. You can take longer breaks or building breaks, all those things, and still feel the same way, exhausted. It will still show up, even if it's just the one job you do once a day or even once a week. It can still show up, because the problem was never about how much I was doing. In my case, doing. It had nothing even like how even nothing to do with ever like what my body told. Okay, it was just my body just wasn't, how do I explain this? It's not a workload. It wasn't how much I was doing. It was, allowing it to stop. It was an open loop, and that left open for hours. The thinking every single day, that feeling of what went on was going on, and that's not the tiredness. It was, because that would make normal sense, right? It's that the system got stuck running what had happened, running before I went in, during and after. That kept running over and over for a long time. That's what it is. It's like sometimes I say to, when people ask me, like on a side note, in regards to like my job, it's like, oh, sometimes it's not the job itself. It could even be the journey to the job that is more exhausting than the physical job. How you got to the place. Now, imagine adding the mental load of thinking about what's happened before, during, and after you're doing this assignment. Do you know how much stress the body is taking on this? And if any of this sounds familiar, the checking before and the checking even like you've left your house and then you've done the job, now you're replaying the way home, you're replaying to the next thing, and you're half present with people who actually are in front of you because your mind is going back to that thing, or you're lying in bed tired but somehow you're still alert. I want you to notice something. And that is, you are not failing to rest. It's not that. Or you haven't forgotten how to rest. Neither is that the case. It is your body is doing exactly what it has learned to do. And that is, it has learned that the work doesn't have a clear ending. It doesn't know when you're in work and when you're out of work. It's just going. So what started to help wasn't actually doing, it was doing less. It was building something small. And that told your body that this part isn't over now, because we're still on it. Something that simple, like even a short walk before going back into the house, or just having a phrase. Like for me, before I go into my home, I always say to myself, like, just like anchoring and just say, you know what, that's done. Now we're being present. We're going into, and then we're just signaling to the body, right? Telling it that this is over, work is done. I'm going into my home now. And I say to myself, I'm going into my next job now. Okay, let's focus. Something that simple, just doing that, going out, going for a walk, or just like shaking off, or just music or rest, or even when you're changing your clothes, that moment, like I got home, that just signals to me, it's like finding something, that version is ended. This is now, we're done. We're here now. Having something that would just dictate like this, done, like we're starting, right? It takes a few minutes, just sitting before you do anything else at all. I'm not talking about big rituals, like some of the things that I do just to like end, like just break things up, is when I'm leaving a place. I like when I now see, like I'm leaving a building, if it's in a building, and I just look up look up I was gonna say ceiling, like how the sky. I just say thank you, like okay, done, yes, done. Okay, let's go, and that's it. We're done. And it becomes okay. If I ever have to evaluate what I'm doing, once I have like locked it in, that one's done. Celebrate that I did it, and then it's like, okay, what can I do to improve next time? What can I, like, just have that quick debrief for myself. And that's it, shut down. There's no ruminating, there's no whatever. We've done it, figure it out. And if we need to come back and revisit it, then we do that. But right now, it's done. If not, we're just gonna keep going over and over and over again at it. Thinking and doing. Because something is consistent enough, when we're doing that, then it then tells our nervous system to start to recognize it. That, okay, this is how this one starts, this one begins. Okay, we're finished now. If not, it's just going to keep going and going and going and going all places. And you're like, why is this thing popping up in my head? Because has learned that it is okay. So you're not necessarily exhausted from the interpreting. You're exhausted from never stopping. Right? And that's not a flaw, okay? In you. It is just a loop that has never been closed. It's just something that you've let run. And guess what? It can be closed. You just need a clear ending. You just need to make that clear to self. The same way you finish an assignment, it's done. The same way you have to find a way to like close that loop for you. And this is sounding familiar, and you really want to figure, okay, is stress my thing? Is this one that's really showing up for me? Go take the interpreter identity audit. It's free, completely free, 10 minutes. You to work out which one of those toxic 10 is showing up for you. That is like, okay, is it hesitation? Is it fear of failure? Success, procrastination, overwhelm, self-doubt, self-loathing? And now we've done stress. We've got another 2 to do. Like, take the time to figure out, okay, what's my pattern? What's showing up for me? Because this is 8 of 10 of the Toxic 10 series. I would link up the rest if you've missed a couple. It'll be in the description box below. And if you want to just like keep going and just figure it out in this series that I'm doing so far, then yeah, go check it out. I am Nene, and we do this every single day. Remember that your voice matters, and it is your time to use it. Bye for now.